Gardeners everywhere, we are calling for you to watch this show because it's Mid-American Gardener time. Wow, we've got a whole panel ready to check out your questions, so we're glad that you've joined us. I'm Diane Noland, and I teach horticulture at the University of Illinois in the Crop Sciences Department. However, there are three great panelists here, extraordinary panelists. We're going to find out who they are, get them laughing and find out who they are. So let's start first with Chuck Voigt. Hi there, Chuck.
Hi, Diane. I am also in the Crop Sciences Department, but my specialty is vegetables and herbs. So if you have questions about those kinds of things, those would be the things that I can handle the easiest. Tonight I have some show and tell here. This is just fantastic. If you can see this, just how black those tomatoes are. It's out of Oregon State, and through conventional breeding, not GMO, they transferred genes from some other solanaceous plants into the tomatoes so that they now produce anthocyanin, which is another phytopigment that has health benefits. And so the side that faces the sun gets this beautiful black color. So when you look down on the top of the plant, it looks like they're just very, very black. Then you turn them over and the underside is still green, but as they ripen, they go ahead and develop the lycopene, which is another phytonutrient that's normally in tomatoes. And so you get the best of both worlds. You get an extra color in your diet.
And the panel's going, ooh.
Yeah, it's called Indigo Rose and came out of Oregon State. It was available through a number of outlets this year. And
wow.
They call this cocktail size, but I wouldn't necessarily want one of those splashing around in a drink. It's kind of big. It's more like a salad size to my definition
Indigo
of things.
Rose.
Right, and then I was also out today in my Rainbow Flint cornfield, and it's just turned out great this year. We finally got the population set so that they're not too thick, so we're getting some nice, big, well-filled out ears. It's been a good year for corn in Illinois, unlike last year. I just love this because every year is kind of a surprise. You don't know if it's going to be black or red or white or yellow or orange or just some wonderful conglomeration of all those things. And so.
And that's Rainbow Flint.
Yes, that's kind of a generic term for it.
Boy, those are beautiful. Wow.
They are.
Both of the show and tells are really pretty. Thank you, Chuck. This means you are a vegetable specialist as
Yes,
well
I am.
as herbs.
And a budding agronomist since I grew the corn.
Yes, you are. That's good too. Well, great. Now we're going to go to the middle panelist, and I'm going to introduce Dr. Tom Voigt.
Hi, I'm Tom Voigt. I'm in the Department of Crop Sciences at the University of Illinois, and I work with perennial grasses. That'd be turf and ornamental grasses, prairie grasses, bioenergy grasses. I have a question tonight, or a problem that's been called in or written in by one of our viewers about an invasive vine. And this year, for whatever reason, bindweed seems to be going pretty crazy in a variety of settings. There's a couple of different kinds of bindweed. There's a hedge bindweed and a field bindweed. I think mostly what we're seeing is field bindweed. They both have heart to arrowhead shaped leaves on it. The leaves on the hedge bindweed are larger than the leaves on the field bindweed. The flowers are also a little different. They're white to pink in both cases. Kind of tubular. The hedge bindweed has flowers that are about a 50-cent piece in diameter, and the field bindweed would have flowers that are about a quarter size diameter. So the question though is, what can we do to control this? And it's pretty difficult in landscape settings. In turf, if you have it in turf, it's not terrible to control. 2,4-D probably isn't going to work very well by itself. But if you use 2,4-D in a combination product with dicamba and mecaprop, which would be a trimec or a three-way product, or if you use a product called quinclorac, it's pretty easy to control. Remember to read, follow, and understand all the instructions on any pesticide label before you apply any of them in your own landscape. In a landscape bed setting, it's a much more difficult difficult weed to control because very often it's grown with other broadleaf plants. So using herbicides on that is somewhat difficult. Non-herbicide controls would include such things as using a physical barrier, such as a landscape fabric. Some of the information out there says you can dig, but you have to probably dig it for a couple of years, keep digging it over and over again. You can cut it off at the ground level and keep doing that every couple of weeks so that it doesn't get a chance to photosynthesize very much, and over a period of time you can wear out the below ground parts of the plant. You want to definitely control the seed, so you want to get rid of any flowering pieces because you don't want to keep reseeding an area, and then you can also try some light exclusion on it by shading it. If you can keep it shaded, that'll slow it down. The one herbicide that you might use in a landscape bed would be glyphosate, but that is a non-selective herbicide, so you need to be very careful and make sure it just gets on the bindweed and not gets onto your desirable plants. So it's very common this year. I read one of the most interesting things is the seeds can last anywhere from 30 to 60 years in the soil. It can be a problem you have now and don't see for several years, and then when the conditions are right, you have it again. So.
Gasp.
Yeah.
30 to
Unfortunately,
60.
I've seen nurseries that are fairly heavily infested with this, and so when you buy a balled and burlap plant, you buy the weed, and so be a little careful. If you can, inspect the nursery where the plants are coming from, because it's much easier not to have it than to try to get rid of it.
It can also come in agricultural soils that you're moving in for landscaping purposes.
That's
so
true.
you have to you've that, and yellow nutsedge and quackgrass also can move a lot in that. So you got to be very careful when you bring soil
Pay
in.
attention the very first years that the tree grows out, then you could maybe exclude it.
Because it
keep
puts down so much fleshy roots that it
Yeah.
is resilient beyond
Wow.
belief.
It has been a good bindweed year.
Roots can be a couple feet deep, so it's
Bad year is a good year
Yeah.
for bindweed.
Yep.
Great, thank you very much for that. That was great. Now, next to me is Dr. Jim Appleby, and I used to call him Pest of the Month or Pest of the
I
Week,
am the pest of the month.
but I will not call him that.
I am the pest. Anyway, I'm an entomologist at the University of Illinois, and I deal with the insects and mites attacking trees, shrubs, and flowers. Now, Diane, as you recall, the last time I was on the panel, we discussed the issue of pine wilt disease. This is a very important disease throughout the entire Midwest, and it attacks particularly Scotch, red, and Austrian pines. It's killing pines. If you travel on the interstate, you see these pine trees in the cemeteries dead, and 98% of the time it's pine wilt disease. The last time I was on the program, I showed the folks the insect that actually transmits the nematode from the pine trees to healthy pine trees. It's a longhorn beetle, and they emerge from pine trees during the months of June, July, and August. But May, June, July. May, June, and July is when they emerge. And when they emerge from a tree, they emerge and they leave these round holes that are about the size of a pencil diameter. And what you want to do, you as soon as a tree dies, you want to remove that tree, cut it to ground level, and convert the wood to chips, or burn the logs, or place the logs in a very, very wet area, because you don't want these beetles to emerge. So you don't want to store the firewood because, like I said, the beetles are going to be emerging from that wood during the months of May, June, and July. So if you see these holes, that means that the beetle has already emerged. And if it died of pine wilt, this beetle will then fly to a healthy pine tree, feed, and during the feeding process, the nematodes leave the beetle's body and enter that feeding wound, and it will result in the death of the tree. So it's really a difficult thing to control. The best means is sanitation. So we need to remove these dead and dying pines as soon as they die and convert the wood to chips, or burn the logs, or place the logs in a very wet area. Don't store it as firewood unless you use the firewood
Right away.
right away. During the winter months, so that you don't store it until May, June, and July when the beetles emerge.
So if you used it over the winter, it would fulfill that. It's
Yeah.
just keeping it another year that would
Yes,
be
right.
not so good.
Right.
Thank you very much. This is very knowledgeable information I'm getting. I'm learning a lot from this show. All right. Now we're going to go to a video mail that we received. So let's do that one next.
This one's for Chuck Voigt. Not so much a question as I wanted to show him, I wanted to screen off the ugly part of my backyard, and he gave me some seeds of broom corn. And I planted them to create a screen late this spring, and they kept growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. And they're about 10 to 12 feet tall now, and I was going to ask them when they're going to tassel, but just the last few days they've sent out some tassels there. You can see that, and I'm really pleased with it because they really create a nice looking screen in the backyard. And thanks, Chuck, for sending that idea and the seeds along. Thanks, Chuck.
Fantastic.
You are welcome.
Wow. We also have a planter on the University of Illinois campus that was planted by Chuck with broom corn in the middle, and it is the nicest one.
Yeah, that's a dwarf broom corn. That's the
A
result.
whisk broom?
No, it's a result of our
think
breeding
so.
program. So the broom straw is actually longer than the 12-foot tall ones is, but it's like over half of the plant height is broom straw. So
But
that one is nice for the planter because it's not 12 feet tall.
But it's beautiful. It's that with Swiss chard and,
Some begonias.
yes, another
and,
flower.
and red and white vinca.
Oh, it's really nice. So anyway, think about, if you need height just for the summer, broom corn. And they did make brooms for years and years from,
Arcola.
from that fiber. So that's really great. All right, now let's go to the phone lines. We're going to start with line 2, and it's a flower question. So let's start with you, line 2. Hello, line 2, are you there?
Yes. I called several months ago about a purple flower that I have in my front flower bed, and I wanted you to identify it, and you couldn't seem to do it without a picture. And I looked in my Birds and Blooms book, and I found one flower that I think might be it. It's called a fan flower.
Fan flower?
Because when it blooms, it looks kind of like a fan. But it says it's annual, but it says it's vining, and that's what this does underneath the ground.
I'm still not sure what fan flower is. Was there a scientific name?
Well, I'll have to look in my book.
Well, some annuals will self-sow. So it is.
It says it's annual, and it comes up all over the place. So I don't know.
It could be that, but some annuals will self-sow. I should know what that is, but I always forget the common names. I remember the scientific names. So good. I'm glad that you figured out. You answered your own question. But yes, some annuals will self-sow. So if you let them go to seed.
Morning glory?
Well, I don't think it, because she said it fans the top. So, well, good. Thank you
More
for
of a trumpet than a fan.
following up on that question.
More like
Let's go
binary.
now to line 3, and it's about okra. Hi there.
Hi. We normally grow okra very successfully with plants that are 6 feet tall and more okra than we can give away. This year, our plants are about a foot tall. The okra is not growing very much. Half of it, I'm picking them at about 3 inches, and half of them are the woody throwaway stuff. Just wonder what's going on with it. We planted it in a different spot in the garden than we normally do.
Which should be okay.
Yeah. Did
Normally?
you plant a different variety by any chance?
I don't know that. I doubt it.
Okay, because not knowing exactly where you are, my okra is the best I've had in years. So I'm not bragging. I'm just trying to.
It's good conditions, is what you're saying.
It's been fantastic. It was a little wet early, and it seemed to shrug that off, and by and large, I've quit picking mine because I didn't have okra-loving friends enough to take care of it.
My husband said we planted the same variety.
Okay.
Okay. What's different about the spots you moved it to? Is it shadier? Is it
No,
closer?
full sun.
Is it closer to something that might be taking water and nutrients out from under it?
Might be closer to asparagus.
Asparagus shouldn't be a huge problem. Boy, I'm sorry. I don't know what the problem is. Perhaps move it back closer to where you've had it in the past next year.
I'm sure we will.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't like to encourage you having in the exact same spot year after year because that can lead to problems too. But when they're stunted like that, it could be fertility, it could be compaction or something from early in the year. It's just hard to diagnose why it's not doing well. Mine is under black plastic mulch, which kind of gave it a boost early in the season. So I don't know if you've ever tried that. Mine's on raised beds under black plastic mulch and has just done fantastically.
Because of the heat.
Yeah,
Really?
it gives it a jump start because okra is one of those heat lovers. So especially early in the season, that really gives it a boost.
Might try that if even if you move it not in the same place, try that black plastic. That might be good. Well, I hope you figure it out completely because you want to have a good crop next year. So thank you for your call. Let's go to line 5 next, and this is a tree question, an evergreen. Hi there.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sure can.
Okay, the gentleman spoke a little bit about pine trees, and we've had issues. I'm in Piatt County, rural Monticello, and I lost maybe 2 blue spruce pine trees or evergreens. I'm not sure the correct term.
But it was a blue
Out of
spruce?
About 7 that I have, and I'd like to replant it 3 or 4 more this going into the winter. And I was wondering, are there any recommendations for what species are standing up well to whatever has been affecting evergreens or pine trees?
Well, I would suggest that you not plant blue spruce. They're just not very adapted to this area. They just don't do very well. And last year we had a drought that really, really was very harmful to them. So I personally, on the evergreens, I like the concolor fir.
Oh.
I also like Douglas fir. I think those 2 firs are really nice.
I
Concolor
love concolor fir.
and
Go ahead, you
Douglas.
two. You
Douglas
can ooh and
fir
ah.
is also very, very nice.
That was kind of a sigh.
Very nice. Those 2 evergreens are very, very nice, and they do very well in the area, throughout the entire state, actually. So I would encourage you to plant those 2.
How about hemlocks?
Hemlocks, they're rather hard to start. I have several, and
They need a bit of a,
and they
they're
do
understory
yeah, they
more.
really do better under an understory. But,
If you
they're
get the
beautiful.
shade correct.
Yeah, I like hemlocks.
I've had good luck with Black Hill spruce, which
Yes.
is a more denser
More
windbreak.
dense. Yeah,
Not such a high altitude
Right.
evolution-wise.
yeah,
But I think what he's saying is diverse plantings,
absolutely.
not the same things, put 2 or 3 different things in a couple of each.
It's
Right.
much better because
And
of
not
disease
probably
problems.
the pines that are most susceptible to.
Right.
White pine might be another suggestion.
Yes.
That's not susceptible to pine wilt. It will get it occasionally, but it's rare, and pine wilt's rare in white pine. So those would be my 3 choices.
Very good. Thank you for that question. And now we're going to go to a little Did You Know? So don't go away. Okay, a little info on trees. Now, we would like to do another round of maybe emails or show and tell, whichever you wish to do.
Okay, I have a question that came in via email about apricot trees. Last summer, some 3-year-old apricot trees bloomed and produced lots of little baby apricots. As it started to develop, they had small dots on them and oozing gelatinous sap coming out of them. And then very quickly the whole mess of them fell off. I didn't realize I was going to have another entomologist here with me tonight, but I did talk to Phil Nixon about this. And we kind of agreed that it was probably a plum curculio that makes a single hole with like a little smile under it. And if you get enough of those, the fruit will abscise, and then they live in fallen fruit, so good sanitation of everything that falls off would help to minimize the problem the following year. In my own personal mini orchard, they seem to have been less of a problem this year because last year was so horrible that there was almost no fruit for them to live in and breed in and whatever. So without spraying, I found that I have a couple of varieties of apples that look pretty good because they also will attack apples. But that's what we could come with. Probably, if you want to control them chemically, a spray right after petal drop would be good, and then every 10 days to 2 weeks for 2 or 3 more applications. Usually once they're set up at that point, they hang on pretty well and would probably be good to go. But everything in that Prunus genus exudes that gelatinous sap. If it's a borer in the trunk or if it's something that bites into the green fruit, that's their response, is to cover it up with that stuff. So that's fairly common.
Okay, very good. Thank you for that answer. And let's go on to you, Tom.
Well, it's the annual question about creeping Charlie and/or ground ivy. Same thing.
Yes.
That's when working in extension. That's one of the most common weed control and turf questions that I received. Creeping Charlie or ground ivy is a mint. It's in the mint family. It's a very aggressive spreading broadleaf weed. Flowers with purple to pinkish flowers in the spring. There are several different controls for it. We would, one of the best controls are herbicides that contain the active ingredient triclopyr. May have to deal with a professional lawn care applicator to apply that, or to get that and have it applied to your creeping Charlie. It needs to be applied when the weed is actively growing. You can try Trimec, as we talked about earlier, for the bindweed in yards, and that usually will ding it up. Creeping Charlie's easier to damage. It's pretty difficult to totally eradicate. Herbicides don't translocate well in it, and it seems to produce enough seed that it comes back. So you want to keep your lawn as vigorous and healthy as you can, and fight with it. Unfortunately, it starts in the shade very commonly, and that's where it's harder to control. Then full sun, it's easier to control.
Right.
Okay, thank you for answering a creeping Charlie question. Appreciate it. Okay, now Jim, what have you got for us?
Well, I had an email, and people are concerned about apple worms. Actually, in the Midwest, we have 2 caterpillars that, well, the one is a caterpillar, the other is a maggot. The codling moth is a very serious pest of apples. It will generally work in the interior of the apple. You find when you split it open, you'll find this rather large worm feeding in the center of the apple. And that's generally a codling moth. So it's very, very common. The other is the ones that called apple maggot. And they're much smaller, and they too will work in the fleshy part of the apple. So they make these little mines, and eventually the fruit will rot and fall to the ground. Now, as far as controlling that, I would suggest that the person go to the extension office nearby and get a spray schedule and follow that spray schedule right down to the letter. You have to do that if you want to have beautiful apples with no diseases and insects or mites attacking the apple tree. So follow that spray schedule. Another cultural practice, because this person wants to know, is it too late to save the apple? Well, it is too late now. But if you find apples that drop to the ground, you want to use them, either eat them or cut them up or whatever you want to use them. But you just don't want to let them lie there in the ground, because some of these insects, like codling moth and also the other insect, will come out of those apples, and then you'll have a problem next year. So a cultural practice would be remove those fallen fruits. Don't let them grow out. And you want to do that about once a week and destroy the, you don't want to, place those maybe in a garbage can or put them in in your, what do you call it?
Compost?
Compost
Yeah,
pile,
don't
and
do
put
that.
some soil or something like that,
Oh,
because the insect will emerge from those fallen
Okay.
fruit.
Yeah, you don't really want to do that. Great. Well, thank you for that. Well, we had a person come by and say, what's wrong with my peppers? And so I've got a couple examples here of the way the peppers look. And this is sun scald. And it can be all variations of this to just barely. And I consulted with my vegetable specialist at the end of the table because I have this as well. And it is sun scald, and also the result of a lot of moisture and then the turning off of the faucet at the end of this summer. So it was just a little too much for it to handle. Go ahead and eat these though. Cut out those parts. You can still eat them. They're just as good as can be. Wow, the show goes so fast and we learned a lot. So I appreciate you three being here and all the crew as well. So we hope that you get out there and have a great week gardening, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.